first thing I want to say is Happy New Year. Welcome to the year 2022. 2022, a new year. In one sense of mind, what is today, or how is today different than any other day? What you set as resolutions now, you could have set as resolutions a week ago, 2 weeks ago. But I want to look on the positive side. I want to look at it as these are new numbers in our lives that are vibrating strongly. And I say that because starting this year, I am offering numerology readings. Now, that being said, this is the first video of 2022. It is the introduction video for the channel as well. Yes, I've done them before, but this one and moving forward, the goal is to do them properly. Oh, let me see if I can move it over there. It doesn't quite pick it up. There are these beautiful rays of light coming through the clouds. That's it. So I tend to start and stop videos on back roads like what I'm on, or driveways. And most often when I'm started or stopped, you get me. I'm a professor who traditionally taught in the classroom, where if I made a mistake or said a few too many uhs, ums, ohs, and what's next, or was silent for a few moments as I was putting thoughts together, that's me. And that's what you get on here. I will edit some of the videos that are for the world religions courses I teach, or for videos where I'm doing a screen recording or recording in the camper. There may be some edits then, but generally speaking, you're just going to get me. You're going to get the uhs and the ums and the ohs. The videos will not often be edited, mostly because I'm starting and stopping on the road, and I'm ideally uploading ideally I'm uploading within 24 hours, and I don't want to have to spend all the time editing and fixing and changing things, because that's just, it's overwhelming at times, and it's taking up time that, to me, I can be doing other things. This channel is about me and my husband and our cat Julius and our experiences of life. I am a world religions professor, a college professor. It's not as exciting as it sounds. Actually, it is. I love it. Goal this year is to teach more, and ideally through some higher education, but specifically like lifelong learning and outside of higher ed. So there will be videos for those courses that I put on here, which may be available to everyone, or they may be private, where if you want to have it, you need to know the link. There's a few ways I'll be doing videos, depending on how I set up courses. As I said, it is about Mike and my adventures, which means the adventures of living in a 24-foot Keystone Hideout camper, 202 RD camper. Living in a 24-foot camper is new to us. We just got it in July as part of the process that seemed to have been required for us to get property, which is a big focus this year, along with my health. I'll come back to that in a moment. So part of the videos on here will be camper life. I'm not going to go and create multiple YouTubes for the multiple areas of life that we live. I have done that in the past, and it has been confusing, and I've posted things in the wrong areas, and at this point I've deleted that, which is sad because I've deleted a lot of videos and made it to where subscribers I did have, well, they don't, just letting all that go. So you will see camper life. We will possibly see some short videos of Julius, the kitty cat. His life is more caught in photos than it is videos. So you have to go to Facebook or Instagram or Flickr or any of the other websites, but those to really see his story. So occasionally you will see videos though of donkeys or chickens or goats that are on the farm where we currently live. It is our friend's property, and it's working out wonderfully for us right now, but there is that goal where we initially wanted enough property to build a campground, and that still would be really awesome and nice, but we just need that property that we can call our own. I have student loans that make it to where I can't be on a mortgage. So, and I also, because of the loss of classes and health issues, which that is another thing you will find on this channel, is health videos. I've had a lot of challenges in life, and especially the last 2 months, with tingly, numb, pain, burning in and along my right arm, dealing with cervical stenosis, foraminal stenosis, osteoarthritis, or just arthritis in my neck and most likely in my hand. So dealing with all that. So there will be videos related to health, and there will be videos that may just show, and they would be edited as such, that would show pictures of artwork that we are trying to sell on eBay, and other items we are trying to sell because we need the property. It is wonderful living with friends on their property, but there are a lot of things we can't really do as well, and being able to have a place that we call our own. I mean, we used to have a house in Florida. We really want that again. We kind of need it because we're also paying for storage and all these other things. So ideally, if we can get $3,000 from that artwork, it would be absolutely wonderful. All in all, we need to obtain the resources or the money that would equate to, oh, don't tell me it's closed today. It's probably closed today. It is closed today. Okay, so I'm just gonna drive around in a circle here and not drop off the trash. It was the first of the year, so it was possible that it would be closed. Now let's go see if laundry is open. Okay, but essentially, at a minimum, about $10,000. In addition to the tiny, minuscule 1,000 or so we have in savings, and ideally close to 2,000 we should be getting back in taxes. We really having 10,000 show up is and will be enough to get the size of property we need. As for that size of property, and yeah, I'm gonna go down this way. Whee. I said that because it's a nice hill going downwards. If there's snow, it'd be fun to sled it. But would be. The property we're looking for is a minimum of about 1 usable acre. By usable, I mean there's flat to at least a half acre of flat land that we can put as the homestead, and ideally another half acre, so full 1 acre that's usable, where, you know, maybe a little slant, the ground's not quite even, but it's not super steep. Ideally we'll get somewhere between just more than 1 acre. Initially, we wanted 5 acres. That was before health issues and other challenges showed up this past few months, this past year, and just, yeah, all that fun stuff. The reason we want more space is, one, we still would like to be able to create a campground, but barring that, which would take about 5 acres, and we'd have to have at least 20,000 show up for doing that, or find people who want to invest and help us and own part of that property. That, you know, if we have more than 5 acres, that's easily possible. But regardless of the campground, we still want a place where Mike can have a studio and an area to play music and enjoy jamming with friends and new friends and have people come and play, and just, you know, that enjoyment of music and dance and creativity. And for me, it's having a library and a meditation healing area space to have people come and visit and to offer courses and classes. I also want to have at least a 1/4 acre to put in a garden and have that sense of a homestead. As to animals, after the last few months, maybe 3 or 4 chickens, but that's a huge maybe. And that's probably the only animals other than our kitty cat, and we might get a dog. But a 1/4 acre would give us the ability to have pretty much all the vegetables and fruits that we would need to live on, with only occasional additions from the store. It's really important to be able to find that property, to have it be manifested, to show up. So there will be videos such as this one right now that I talk about this, because it's really important, and any help we can get that's good and reasonable and friendly and with love, we will take. Absolutely. Yeah. The other subject that will show up in videos is sort of like my thoughts on life. And this goes beyond just the spiritual aspect that, and understanding the sacred that comes with the religious studies videos. Excuse me, hold on a moment. Beginning the year with a fast, which I'll come back to. Excuse me. But sharing sort of like, you know, if I could redo the systems of the world, well, of the U.S., how would I do it? And it's sort of political, but it's not so much political as in left, right, up, down, all those things, as much as it is just, you know, the systems that are in place. How would I change or do things differently? What do I think would be interesting to see if it would work? Not that it would work. No, probably not. But what might I enjoy thinking about? So that shows up in videos as well. And I've done a couple of them, but I'm starting 2022 new. I am not deleting the past videos that I have had on here, because somebody might want to see where I began. Although they can't really do that because I've deleted videos on other channels and did kind of start over. 2021, I needed just as I was like going headstrong into it, it needed to back away. And I, at times, ghosted the online world, you could say. Many times I did at least post that I was disappearing, but that's okay. So I just mentioned that I am doing a fast. My fast is both slightly spiritual in nature and also health related. As I mentioned, I've had health challenges, the stenosis and bulging discs in my neck, diabetes, that's for about a year was absolutely not controlled. We do not have health insurance, so yeah, I kind of let things slide, and I didn't take the alternative medications like berberine as I should have. Berberine in various studies around the world can be as effective or almost as effective as metformin. So I'm now taking my berberine every day. At least, right now it's at least, let's see here, I'm at 1,500 milligrams a day. So, I don't know if I could go up to 2,000 and do 2 twice a day, but I'm gonna wait till I do a blood test because most of the studies seem to be at between 1,500 and 1,800, or I'm sorry, between 1,200 and 1,800 milligrams a day. So there is that. So part of the fasting is to help let go of some of the inflammation I'm dealing with and give my body a break for a few days. I'm not doing anything excessive today or tomorrow. The plan is to end the fast Monday morning. I will be fasting multiple times this year, not just for the inflammation or the physical health, but I am planning on doing a number of spiritual fasts as well. We'll see how that happens and if it works out, but that is definitely on the horizon this year. Fasting has numerous health benefits, and yes, when somebody has health issues, and I'm not talking diabetes, I also have low platelets, iron anemia, and all these things predate things I've been dealing with for about 16 years, include iron anemia, B12 deficiency, low platelets, or immune thrombocytopenia, and that I'll get into issues with that in a future video. And then mild thyroid issues. Oh, and panhypogammaglobulinemia. Wow, that's a mouthful. It basically means all of my IgG subclasses are low. And it wasn't just a one-time thing for at least 2 years. I haven't been tested for them recently, but for at least 2 years. 2.5. 2.5? No, actually 3 years. For over 3 years, they tested us low. So it's something that probably is still happening, which was part of the diagnosis of panhypogammaglobulinemia, not just like some virus or bacterial infection I had. So all of that with the arthritis and the just like rampant inflammation I deal with, going and fasting helps all those things. It is a water fast, so I drink plenty of water, and if I start getting a headache or if I feel weak, I will have a apple cider vinegar mix that has a little bit of extra potassium in it, because I'll add cream of tartar, which is basically potassium potassium. And sometimes I might take another multivitamin or a multimineral or something if that happens. And then if that doesn't make me feel okay with my fast, then an hour or two later I will restart my eating. It really is important to pay attention to what my body is saying, and especially since I got this additional hand issues. Sometimes I hear what my body is saying about not listening and not following its guidance. So that's a big part of this year, is not doing too much, not getting overwhelmed, and working on inflammation, which is also a stress response, which can come from doing too much, even when we don't think we're doing too much, which happens with me. A bruise appears 3 days after I did something. I'm like, I didn't know I hurt myself. Where'd that come from? So, yeah. But the fasting does help with that. I do take, and I'm working on a better system to make sure I'm getting all of the different types of food and supplements and herbs and teas that help with, or could help with, blood sugar, with inflammation, with arthritis, with all these different things I have. So part of that has been mostly going gluten-free for the last X number of years. Occasionally I slide out of being gluten-free and would just go ahead and enjoy that bread and that toast and everything. Since November though, and since going to the emergency room at the end of October, I've been working harder to make sure that I stayed away from the heavy carbs. So not just being gluten-free, but staying away from even gluten-free things such as your rice and your potatoes, and those other very heavy carbs. I'm not against having them once in a while, and this past week I went ahead and went all out and even had glutinous items. Another reason for the fast. But one big part of my goal, my health for this coming year, is that hope to primarily maintain a gluten-free, heavy carb-free diet. Sweet potatoes will come and go, and my thought is come mid-April to May, depending on my health, of course, I will start having either a rice or a potato once a week. But until then, maybe once a month. We'll see what happens. Part of it is making sure, as I said, to include foods and items that are good for inflammation and all that. So that means the flax seeds, the sesame seeds, and other items like hemp hearts, flax seed, sesame seed, putting chia seed into smoothies, that type of seed. So still making sure I get plenty of fiber that I'm missing because I'm not having those heavy carbs that tend to be very fibrous. Mornings tend to be a smoothie or bone broth, and then I have a second meal. I generally do intermittent fasting, so eating 2 meals a day. But I haven't been good about my timing. So I always have breakfast. I wake up hungry. It's probably the main time I get hungry, where I'm like, I need food. So I tend to have something within about an hour of getting up. And then ideally my next meal is around noon, but based on my husband's schedule and a number other things, it might be 6 p.m. or even 8 p.m. Eating after 6 p.m. I know impacts the inflammation, the pain levels, and my blood sugar, and just like even like my heart rate is better if I eat before 6 p.m. as my last meal of the day. My goal is, even though my husband's getting off work early, trying to have that last meal be closer to noon or 1 p.m. But I'm not going to be a stickler for it because I do like to eat with my husband. He's getting off work early these days. So there's that. So yeah, you just got a big update on health. Mostly because there was time. As mentioned, I tend to start and stop this videos when I'm starting or stopping the vehicle. This is a major road, so I would not end or start a video on a major road. The only time videos may start or stop on a major road and I'm not stopped is because there's a call coming in, or just the video gets stopped on its own, or somebody's in the car and stops the video. Any of those traits or events is possible. As I mentioned, I am going to be offering, or looking to offer, I think I mentioned it earlier, numerology readings. And I've been mixed on whether to charge or not. And I've had a couple people recently say, yeah, this reading is really great. What are you going to be charging for them? Or what, I want to make sure I give you something for this. What would you like as far as a dollar amount? And I don't want to be a business. I've been there, done that, and it's not that I'm closed off to the idea, but right now, it's odd. And again, because my name can't be on the mortgage, I'd rather people just donate or give gifts. And the sense of a gift is that you give it freely without anything in return. Otherwise, you're paying for a service. So I'm really mixed on a lot of things on how I want to proceed. The main thing is this idea that I offer it, and if somebody wants to give me something for it, that's fine. Just know that I'm going to treat it as a donation. People are welcome to donate without receiving anything, and people are welcome to not give anything for the numerology or the numerology reading or the meditation session or the Sacred World session. So yeah, and that weighs on me a bit because I need the income. The degree of health stuff that's happening is making it to where getting an additional job in real life, or a job that's 40 hours a week, just isn't quite possible. And being an adjunct, well, hey, I made $13,000 as a professor last year. And that was teaching 5 classes, I think. And so my take home was about $13,000. All right. This place is open, so I am stopped. And again, I'll end this with the sentiment that I hope you have a beautiful and marvelous and healthy and joy-filled 2022.